All right, so we're done with the register. Now let's start working on the dashboard. Now, when it comes to dashboard, we'll have a nested layout structure. So dashboard will be a parent, and inside of the dashboard, we'll nest these pages: stats, all jobs, and add job, and profile. Now, the dashboard itself, it's only going to be a shared layout. And in that shared layout, we're going to have a nav bar, a sidebar on a big screen, and also a sidebar on a small screen. And if you navigate to complete project, if you log in or register, and if you take a look at the pages, you'll notice that only the contents here change. So again, the dashboard itself is going to be a shared layout. So this is where we'll have the nav bars, the sidebars, also the outlet where we'll display each and every page. And then these pages will be nested inside. Now, in order to set it up, first, we'll need to remove the dashboard.js. We won't need it. And instead, we're going to create a dashboard folder. Now, in that folder, we want to set up all the pages. For now, it's just going to be components with straight up return. So we want one for stats, profile, add job, all jobs, shared layout, and also index.js in the dashboard folder. And in that index.js, I want again to set up those imports and exports. So import all of these files and then export them as well. After that, I want to go to app.js. I want to remove the import for dashboard.js because the file is not going to be there anymore. And then I want to import all of these components from the dashboard. So we go here with pages, dashboard, and since we have the index.js, we don't need to provide the specific path. And then I want to set up that nested structure. And it's going to look like this, where I'm going to have my home route. So the path won't change. It's still going to be a home route. As far as the element, we'll set up the shared layout, and then we'll nest these pages inside of it. And when it comes to index, I'll set this one up as stats. So essentially, the moment we'll log in or register, basically when we will navigate to a dashboard, the first page that will display here is the stats one. Now, of course, you can change this around. This was just my preference to set stats as the index one, but you don't have to. And then when we want to navigate, let's say to all jobs, add job, and profile, of course, that is going to be the URL. So now notice the stats is our homepage, and then all jobs is going to have this URL. And of course, the same works for add job and profile. Hopefully this is clear. Again, this is something that we already covered in React Router 6 tutorial. So if you do need to jog your memory a little bit, please go back to that section. So let's start in the pages where I want to remove the dashboard.js. We won't need it. Instead, we want to create a folder, and we're going to go with dashboard. Then inside of the dashboard, let's create those pages one by one. Let me take a look at the README. So we want to go here with stats.js. Then let's set up the component. And you know what? It's kind of annoying that div. It's very small. So let me go here with heading 1. Then let's do the same thing with, let me check the pages, profile now. Okay, let's do that. So new file, let's say profile.js. Again, let's create the component. Let's just change it to heading 1. And then after that, we have, I believe, all jobs. JS. Again, let's set up the component. Then let's change it to heading 1. And then lastly, as far as the pages, we have add and then job.js. All right, now let's just set up the component here. Let's go with heading 1. And then we also want to add that index.js. So let's say here index.js. And in here, we want to set up all the imports and exports. So one by one, let's set this one up where I'm going to go with profile. Then I'm going to add a job. After that, I want all the jobs. Then we want to go with stats. And you know what? I think there's actually one thing missing, and that is the shared layout. So first, let me set up the export, and then I'll worry about it. Let's just say here, export. Let's place all of them inside of it, and then we're going to go with new one. We'll say shared layout. So this is where we'll display the page contents as well as the navbar, sidebars, and all that. So shared layout. It's going to create the component. Again, I'm going to go for now with heading 1. And then in the index, I also want to get that one. So let me try here. So shared layout. Yep. Let me take this one, add it here as well. Then we want to navigate to the app.js. We want to first remove the dashboard since there is no file anymore. And we also want to import all of those pages. And I think it's going to be faster if I do it this way. So I'm going to go with import, copy and paste, and then from. And now we want to look in the pages. And then we want to grab the dashboard one. And now let's set up that nested structure where instead of the dashboard, now I'll display the shared layout. And I want to set up the closing tag here as well. So let's go with route. And then inside of this route, this is where we want to set up the stats, all jobs, add job, and profile. And like I said, in my case, index 1 is going to be the stats one. So the moment we hit our home route, we'll display the stats. If you want to display a different page, I mean, you can absolutely do that. So let's go here with a route. Then we want to provide the index prop. And as far as the element, I'm going to go with stats. Then let me close this one. And we want to set up 3 more, I believe. So route, path. In this case, we're going to be looking for all jobs, then element. And in here, let's set up the component as well. So all jobs. Let's close it. We're going to copy and paste. And we want to change this one around where instead of all jobs, we're going to go with add job. Now the component also is going to change. So it's going to be add job. And then the last one will be the profile. So we'll say here profile, and also we'll display that component. And once we save, yes, we won't be able to see any of these pages. Of course, because we haven't properly set up the shared layout. But what we should see once we navigate here is the shared layout. And it looks like I have an error. And you know what? It's in the index.js in the pages because I didn't remove the dashboard. So let me also do that over here as well. So let's save it. And yep, it looks like everything's correct since I can see the shared layout.